Welcome back to the channel. We're back with our Final Fantasy Commander deck profile with Zidane, Tantalus Thief. For 3, a red and a white, you get a 3-3, where when he enters, you gain control of target creature an opponent controls. You get to untap it, gains haste and lifelink, so you can swing on your opponents with it. And then when you give it back to your opponents, you also get a treasure token. So in this deck, we have plenty of ways to give out gifts to our opponents so that we get some treasures off of doing that. Plenty of ways to blink Zidane so that he could come in again and again, come in, steal a ding, hand it back to your opponent, get a treasure token, rinse and repeat. Yeah. And also, when you are playing this against your opponent and having that roll zero conversation, you could, in theory, phrase this as being a group hug deck because you're giving out stuff to your opponents. You're giving them like a slicer and stuff to swing on each other with. Just not you. But that's the general overview of the deck. Let's look into it card by card. Arcane Signet starts off for a little bit of mana. Assault Suit, equipped creature gets +2/+2, has haste, can attack you or planeswalkers you control, and can't be sacrificed. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, may have that player gain control of the equipped creature until end of turn. If you do, untap it. So we give control of it to our opponent, comes back to us at the end phase. When we give control of it to our opponent, they don't have to swing on each other, but they could. Helps us out with that little group hug aspect, but we also get a treasure token anytime we hand it out. So by the time we're going around the table, we're paying for that 3 mana equip cost already. That's only one time around. Avarice Totem for 1 mana, you get it on the board. Then for 5 mana, you could exchange control of it with target non-land permanent. Maybe your opponent is just like, ooh, this is half of my infinite combo piece I'm about to put on the board. Are you guys going to do anything about my sanguine bond? Yeah, I'll be taking that. Thank you. And then you get it on your battlefield. But in the process, you also get your treasure token off of Zidane's ability. You know, sometimes they just have like that big creature that they're just like, I'm going to keep swinging on you with it. You're like, well, I'll start swinging on you with it now. Bucknard's Everfull Purse, 2 mana. You get it on the battlefield, 1 mana, roll a d4, create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result, up to 4, but then we pass it to our opponent to our right, and then we get a treasure token off of that as well. So we're at least going positive anytime we use the tap effect. It does tap to do it, and you do need to tap it to do it again. So you do need to wait a bit until you're getting it back, and sometimes people don't always pass it back. But overall, just having getting the couple treasure tokens and the risk of getting some more is always fun. Commander Sphere for some extra mana, a little bit of draw power if we need it. Conjurer's Closet, a way to blink Zidane at the beginning of each of our end steps. Also, in theory, we can blink another creature we control. But yeah, overall, it helps us get some more treasure tokens off Zidane. We can't swing in with the thing that we get control with Zidane, but overall, just having that extra treasure token sometimes helps us do something extra. Maybe it'll help us get that extra treasure token we need to cast our generous gift on our opponent. Coveted Jewel enters, draw 3 cards, tap, add 3 mana of any one color, and then the main ability that we're using for is whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls attack you, aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards and gains control of it. You also get to untap it. So in theory, hopefully we're just passing this around the table a little bit. Hopefully the person that attacked you will then let you attack them, so you can keep passing it back and forth, both of you guys drawing cards. And overall, just getting a little bit of mana is super helpful. You get a treasure token anytime someone takes it away from you as well. So you're going a little bit positive there. Felwar Stone for some extra mana. Hiltian Rope, 2 mana. To get it on the board, can't be sacrificed. Pay 1 mana, search your library for a basic land, pass it to the right. Pay 2 mana, draw a card, and pass it to the right. Same thing with Bucknard's Everfull Purse. We can't get it back the same time, so we can't be like, ooh, do the effect so I can get it back again. Nope, sometimes someone will just hold on to it as well. Mind Stone for some extra mana, a little bit of draw power if we need it. Panharmonicon, in order to gain control of 2 creatures anytime Zidane enters battlefield, which will also get us 2 treasure tokens when he, during the end phase. Slicer, Hard Muscle, Double Strike, Haste. Keep passing it around the table. Being each opponent's upkeep, had a player gain control Slicer until end of turn, so you do get it back each turn, meaning that you're the one handing it, so it goes from you to player B, back to you, from you to player C. So by the time you're getting around the table, that is 3 treasure tokens you're getting again. Super helpful for its ability. We tend not to use the other side. I mean, you could, and it'll help you get onto the board a little bit quicker, especially because it's 3 mana for first strike haste, rather than the 5 to get on the board. But I don't know, tend not to have it that early. Soul Ring for some extra mana, Talisman Conviction for some mana, and Wayfarer's Bauble for land drop. Zidane is 5 mana, so we do want quite a bit of mana to get him on the board in the first place. A Crone and a lot of our deck, just saying, it works much better when we have Zidane on the battlefield compared to when we don't. A Crone Horse, enters the battlefield, opponent gains control of it, get that treasure token off of it. It has Defender, so it can't be swinging on you. And at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent puts a 1/1 soldier creature token onto the battlefield. So we get that treasure token. We start getting some 1/1 tokens in order to protect us as well. Alexios, Deimos, Cosmos, similar to the Slicer, where we keep passing it around the table. This way we get our treasure tokens. We're basically going almost neutral by the end of the first round with this going around the table. And also get some +1/+1 counters in order to make sure that it, gets more and more powerful. Same thing with Slice It Out. It can't attack you, but it can attack your opponents. Brian, Sidearm, Lifelink. 4 mana for a 4/4. Maybe there's been that one person who just has that really big creature. My favorite effect I've had with this deck, playing it in person for a little bit now, is having Brian Sidearm plus Zidane on the battlefield. And someone had a 22/22. Swung. That was their only creature on the board, so hit them in the face with it. And then flung it at them, dealing their full life total. It's rare that it happens, but still, just getting rid of some of your opponent's creatures, getting them off the battlefield is always helpful as well. Captivating Crew, another way to gain control of your opponent's stuff in order to hand it back at the end of the turn, so you get a little bit of treasure tokens, a little bit of gain control. Charming Prince, another way to blink Zidane. The Kelsey used to scry or gain some life. You can't have to use it for the blink effect though. This way you can get Zidane's effect to gain control of your opponent's stuff and swing on your opponents with it, gaining you that life. This way one day they swing on you with it next turn, you have the life to take the hit. Discerning Flamantier. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than you, create treasure token. We like treasure tokens in this deck, so that helps us out. In theory, we could also be giving control of our opponents, giving our opponents some lands with some other cards we'll get into later. So, put them ahead. And then pay 3 mana. Choose another player. That player gains control of target treasure you control. Draw a card. So, some of the treasures we may have access of helps us out. Duke Older Raven Guard. If we gain control of our opponent's commander, that's a legendary creature, and Duke Older can give them Myriad. So having multiple legendary creatures on the board breaks the legendary rule. So you can sacrifice their legendary creature in order to, get it off the board for a little bit. You do have to gain control of it, and that's a 6 mana combo. But still, also if we even just give Zidane the Myriad, that does gain control of 2 other things, because we tend to have 2 other opponents that we're swinging on, and then get that extra gain control effects. Philborg Flutist. This is the one that in my real deck, in real life deck, I have removed since just 6 mana was a bit much for it. Enters the battlefield, gain control target creature for the end of turn. It gains haste and Myriad till end of turn. So, it is similar to, that effect I was just mentioning with Duke Older. But, this one, I don't know, I've had it countered too many times. So, it's one of those things where it's just alright, I'm done with this card. Flicker Wisp, another way to blink Zidane, so that we could, steal our opponent's stuff and get some treasure tokens. Goblin Cadet, when it blocks or becomes blocked, target opponent gains control of it. This way, get the treasure token, goes neutral on mana just by casting it. Humble Defector, draw 2 cards, target opponent gains control of it. Activate it only during your turn, so we'll do it, hand to our opponent, be hey, hand it back to me. And then you guys keep passing it back and forth, keep drawing more and more cards. Super helpful for both of you. Iron Will Forger, another way to give a creature Myriad. Can't give it to Zidane, but some of our other creatures that we have the ETB abilities of helps them out a whole bunch. And if we do take control of one of our opponent's things, as long as it's not legendary, and maybe has a good enter the battlefield ability itself. Night White Orchid, another creature that we like to Myriad. This will get 2 more copies, getting 2 more planes. Super helpful for us there. Solemn Simulacrum, another creature that's really good with enter battlefield abilities. Anytime it enters, get a land. Also, when it does get removed, you get to draw a card, so that's helpful there as well. Steelskin, Moogle Merchant. I said we have some ways to give our opponents some lands. But yeah, this way we could give control of our opponent some stuff, getting the treasure tokens in the process. Jolly Balloon Man, another way to create token copies of our creatures, getting those enter battlefield abilities again. Maybe we make a copy of our opponent's legendary creature. This way we, just remove it. Treasure Nabber, whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, gain control of that artifact until end of turn. Until end of your next turn. So, after Solar and after Arcane Signet, we get those now. Super helpful, and then we just hand them back later. And then we get our treasure tokens on top of that. Yes Man Personals, it doesn't help with what's it called, treasure tokens, because they do get sacrificed, by the way, just as a point of reference. Yes Man, Personal Securitron. Target opponent gains control of Yes Man. When they do, you draw 2 cards. Another effect similar to the one I was mentioning earlier, where you keep passing him back and forth. Hopefully, you guys just let each other draw some cards. And when he leaves the battlefield, its owner creates 1/1 tap soldier creature tokens for each quest counter on it. You're getting a whole bunch of quest counters anytime you pass it back and forth. And also, if you just blink it, you do get those soldier tokens just off that. Deals conscripts. When it enters, gain control of target permanent until end turn. Untap it, gains haste. Another good blink effect. Another good card to blink there to gain control and get some treasure tokens in the process off of Zidane's ability. On to the second half of the deck. We have Custody Battle. Another way to keep passing a creature around. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent gains control of this creature unless you sacrifice a land. Doesn't necessarily have to be your creature. It says enchanted creature. So maybe you give it to your opponent. It's a creature that everyone wants. Frenzied Fuge. Enchant permanent, enters battlefield, and at the beginning of your upkeep, gain control of enchant permanent until end of turn. Untap that permanent, gains haste till end of turn. Helps us, get control of something, pass back, all the stuff we like to see. Legion Loyalty, another way we give stuff Miriant. This way we can get rid of our opponent's legendary creatures and get extra blink effects for ourselves. Reign of Riches, whenever you use treasure to cast a spell as Cascade for the first time each turn, you just get some treasure tokens. We have a lot of treasures off of Zidane, and we have some high mana spells. I think 8 is our highest. Yep, 8 with this over here. So, helps us out. Maybe we'll get a 1 mana Soul Ring off that. Acrobatic Maneuver, really good blink spell. So what blink means, in case you don't know, is exile target creature, return to the battlefield on its own control, whether it's starting the end phase or during the turn. You always look into the deck profile for more details on that. But this helps you blink, this helps you draw a card as well. Active Aggression, target creature and opponent controls, untap it, gains haste, allowing you to do the Zidane thing. Chaos Warp, in order to get rid of our opponent's second best thing from their deck and give them the best thing on their deck. This way you can then take control of it. Sometimes we even want to get rid of their worst thing. It's just like, that is not useful to me. Put it on top, put it back into your deck and get something more useful for me to steal. Cloud Shift, another blink spell. Ephemerate, another blink spell that also has rebound, so you get to do it again. Flicker of Fate, another good blink spell. Fling. So sometimes with our opponent's stuff, we don't want it sticking around. We want to make sure that we could then just use it to hit face. Generous Gift for... That's also Endear removal. Generous Gift for removal. Getaway Glamour. Not a blink spell. Also, it could be removal, but you tend to use it for the blink side. Justiceer's Portal. Another blink spell. Also gives your creatures first strike, allowing you to block your opponent's stuff. Parting Gust. Another blink spell. Gets you some +1/+1 counters, making it easier to block stuff as well. Path to Exile for some removal. Scroll Shift for a blink. And also draw power. Slip on the ring. The ring tempts you and you get to blink a creature. The ring tempting you don't really care about. Source Splashes for some removal. Then for our sorcerers, we'll go through lands at the end as always. Sorcerers Act of Treason for gaining control of our opponent's stuff. Hand it back. The Nice Zidane building. Call for Aid. Another steal spell, we'll just call it. Claim the Firstborn. Another steal spell, but only for mana value 3 or less. Disrupt Decorum. Gold creatures you don't control. I mean, sometimes people don't like you stealing their stuff, even if you are a group hug deck, quote unquote. So you want to make sure that they can't attack you. Furnace Rains. Steal spell plus a treasure token. Harmless offering. Give our opponent like something that we don't want. Maybe we give them a steel skin. This way they could keep handing us stuff. But overall, just gets us that treasure token. And there's some stuff that, could be fun to hand out to our opponents. Interaction. A steal spell for all creatures on the battlefield. Basically, your game ender. Involuntary employment. Another steal spell. Mass mutiny. Another steal spell for all creatures on the battlefield. Mob rule. Another steal spell. Price loyalty, another steal spell, and seize the spotlight. It's either a steal spell or some draw power and some treasure tokens. They're gonna have to give you control of their stuff, but like both of which hurt them. So who knows? But that's it right there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more like this, make sure you subscribe so you stay tuned for future videos. Hope you have a great rest of the day.